In this lecture, we're going to look at some vocabulary for describing changes. And here are the 7 words: acclimatise, merge, restore, amend, deviate, distort, divert. And your first word is acclimatise. Acclimatise. So we use the word acclimatise for when you get used to a new situation. And it's often used with climate and weather, but also more widely. So for example, here's a mountaineer and she's going to climb a mountain, but high in the mountains the air is very thin. There isn't much oxygen. It's very difficult to breathe, so she must first get used to the thin air, and she must therefore spend a few days in the mountains before she climbs, getting used to the thin air, getting acclimatised to the thin air. So she's getting used to the climate in the mountains. She's acclimatising to the climate, basically. Climate is in the middle of the word acclimatise, without the E, of course. Acclimatise. The Z sometimes is spelled S. The ISE ending is quite common in British English, and the IZE ending is more common in American English, but they're both correct. For example, allow time for your body to acclimatise to the high altitude. Take a few days to acclimatise to the new time zone. And I'm sure that we will acclimatise very quickly to the new economic situation. So the third sentence is a more general use of acclimatise. This is a very common collocation. You acclimatise to something. So here is a verb acclimatises, acclimatising, acclimatised. And acclimatisation is the process. It's a noun, the process of acclimatising. Some synonyms: get used or get used to, conform, adapt, and adjust. Adjust. Here's your next word: merge. Merge. If one thing merges with another, they come together. They combine to make one whole thing. So here, 3 roads merge to become 1 road. And it's the same with rivers. 2 rivers merge to become 1 river. Also, you can have the same with companies, with business. If 2 businesses merge, they form a new company. So here is an example of that, in fact. The Bank of America merged with Merrill Lynch. Modern and traditional architectural elements merge in a clever way. So here you've got styles merging. We often use these 2 words together: merge with, merge into, merge together. And as a verb, you can have merges, merging, merged. And a noun: merger. Merger. You can also emerge from something by putting the E in front. So if you come out of a crowd and show yourself, you emerge from the crowd. You can also have unmerge. This is when 2 things separate. So maybe 2 companies unmerge. Some synonyms: amalgamate, join, blend. Styles blend a lot. Combine, unite. And your next word is restore. Restore. If you restore something, you make it exist again. So in England, in 1649, we got rid of the monarchy. So there was no king. But 11 years later, in 1660, we decided that we wanted the monarchy back. So we had a king again. So the monarchy was restored. We restored the monarchy. The army was brought in to restore order. The death penalty was restored. The new government restored confidence in the economy. And we restore confidence. Restore order, that's a common collocation. Restore peace. Restore democracy. Note the pronunciation of restore, not restore, but restore. And as a verb you can have restores, restoring, restored. And the noun form is restoration. So you can have the restoration of the monarchy in England in 1660. You can bring back, that's a synonym, bring back, reinstate, re-establish, put back, rebuild, recover. And the next word is amend. Amend. So if you amend something, you change it, usually in a small way, and usually for the better. And we often amend written documents, legal documents, constitutions, for example. The President agreed to amend the Constitution. Parliament may amend the proposed tax bill. We reserve the right to amend the terms and conditions. So we often amend a plan, amend a law, amend legislation, amend the Constitution. And it's a verb, so you can have amends, amending, amended, and the noun form is amendment, amendment. And some synonyms: alter, enhance, change, modify, correct. And here's the next word, deviate. Deviate. If you deviate from something, you start doing something differently or unplanned, and especially in a way that causes problems for others. In the middle of the word deviate is via, which is a Latin word which means way. So if you devia, it means you go from the way, you leave the way. So if you deviate, you go from the normal way of doing things. They stopped you as soon as you deviated from the script. Sub-Saharan Africa has wage levels that deviate significantly from international norms. So it's not normal. Galileo's ideas deviated markedly from those of his time. So you deviate from things, you can deviate significantly and markedly, or slightly. And it's a verb as well, so deviates, deviating, deviated. And the noun is a deviation, deviation. And some synonyms: veer, vary, differ, diverge, depart. And your next word, distort, distort. If you distort an object, you pull it so that it's out of shape, but you can also distort facts and ideas. So if you distort facts or ideas, you report these facts and ideas in an untrue way. You distort the facts. So, for example, the media distorts reality by showing people as all good or all bad. They're distorting reality. There are allegations that the government distorted scientific findings to justify its policies. So you can distort the truth, distort reality, distort competition, distort something, distort things by doing things, by lying sometimes. And as a verb, distorts, distorting, distorted. And the noun form is distortion, distortion. Some synonyms for distort: misrepresent, twist, warp, pervert, alter. And your next word, divert. Divert. If you divert something, you make it follow a different direction. So for example, here's a plane. It was flying from Vladivostok to Moscow when it developed a fault. Oh no, so it needed to land. So it diverted to Novosibirsk and landed there instead. So the plane diverted to Novosibirsk. Here's some more examples. The project diverted water to the drought-prone areas. During the strike, we will divert ambulances to private hospitals. So you can divert something from or divert something to. You can divert attention. We often divert people's attention. Divert resources. And as a verb, diverts, diverting, diverted. And the noun form, watch what happens to the T. It goes away, diversion. Diversion uses an S. And some synonyms for divert: redirect, switch, pivot, deflect. So there are your 7 changes words: acclimatise, merge, restore, amend, deviate, distort, and divert.